What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another one of my videos. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Highly appreciated. Make sure to subscribe and like my content if you're enjoying these regular Sunday videos. And I heard you guys about the audio. I'll definitely get it fixed. Now let's jump right into today's video. So in today's video, I kind of wanted to go over the different ways or the steps that I have personally taken to become a stylist at Essence. As you guys may know, I have been a stylist at Essence for the last 2 years. And quite frankly, I get a lot of questions about sort of the job, what the job entails and how I got there. And I kind of just thought I would make a video and give you guys some of the steps that I personally took and that you can also take to become a stylist. Now, I know that it works differently in certain places, but this is some of the things that I would personally suggest. So yeah, let's jump right into it with the first step. Step number 1, degree or experience. I get a lot of questions about this, about did you have to get a degree? Now, I did my university and graduated in economics, so nothing related to fashion. But in the meantime, I did acquire a lot of experience working through retailers like any local boutiques or like places like Zara, Forever 21, H&M, whichever you want, you name it. When you turn 18 and you're kind of looking into going into university, this is one of those things that if you want to get into fashion, a lot of people are very hesitant. Now, for me personally, I was kind of like doing some things on the side. Like I had a blog in the past. I did a bit of like gigs, like styling gigs here and there. Of course, these things weren't paid, which we're gonna get into when we talk about interning, but they gave me the experience that I needed. In terms of having a degree, to be quite honest, I know a lot of people feel like there's no importance in going to school, but if you know what you want to do at a young age, you should 100%, maybe not 100%, but you should definitely consider getting a degree in the specific field that you want to work in. If you are 18 and already kind of know what field you want to work in and you have time, why not do like a 2-year program where you can get sort of like a stylist certification? Because all of those things, when you go and apply for a job, whether it's as a stylist or just in fashion in general, they will consider those things, right? Compared to someone that maybe just has experience. Now, of course, experience also is highly important, because if someone has way more experience than you, I feel like certain companies would sometimes rather go with someone that's a bit more experienced than someone that maybe has a couple degrees in that specific field. So yeah, so I think when it comes to degree and experience, I would say if you can get like some form of degree, even just a 2-year diploma, that would be great. But definitely I encourage you that even when you're studying, to still have some experience, to still work for any retailers, any local boutiques, and take gigs. Like if there are any gigs that open up that require for you to do some styling, just take it, even if it's not paid. I mean, you make money later. It's kind of like YouTube in a way. It's like, you know, you put out content, you're not necessarily making money off of it, but you just have to do it because you enjoy it and you feel like this is your calling at the moment. And yeah, so let's jump right into the second step. So jumping right into the second step, we have social platform presence. So anything social media related. Now, the reason why I kind of thought this was an important step is because it did somewhat help me get the current job that I have. As you guys know, we're in 2020, and especially when it comes to fashion, everything is done online, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, like whichever you want, you name it, blogs. And this is definitely a step that you need not necessarily to take like seriously, but it's a step that could definitely get certain companies or online retailers interested in hiring you, because they do see that you don't just do this as a 9-to-5 job, but you actually do this outside your working hours as well. So social media platform, I would say, is definitely a necessity and a step into sort of potentially getting hired to become a stylist. For me, I've always enjoyed posting outfits on Instagram ever since Instagram started. I just really did it for fun because I loved styling certain pieces that I had in my wardrobe. Now, if you would want to do the same, I definitely highly encourage you to do that and start small and just have fun with it. And also it will kind of push your creativity in terms of like what you have in your wardrobe, because all of us have certain things in our wardrobe that we don't nearly wear as much. But when you kind of start like, let's say, posting outfits on Instagram or making videos, it pushes you to really use a lot of the things in your wardrobe. As we all know, we don't all like shop like on a consistent basis, and we don't all have the money to be able to consistently acquire new clothes. So what that does when you're trying to, like, let's say, even just grow a social presence, you are forced to kind of dig into your wardrobe and find the certain pieces and learn how to style them and make it work for like an outfit or for like anything really. So I would definitely highly encourage you to use your social media platform, use any sort of like technological or social presence that you can use in order for that day that comes where you're applying for a stylist job, the particular company that's hiring you is able to kind of look at some form of portfolio, whether it's a blog, it's Instagram, it's YouTube. So definitely use that to your advantage. And let's move right into the third step. Number 3, we have be aware of current trends. Now, the reason why I put this one in there is because when you go for interviews or you are working towards becoming stylists and you meet different people, whether it's in the industry or whether it's through certain gigs that you're doing, you have to be aware of what's going on in the fashion world. So whether it's like, creative directors switching houses, whether it's brands collaborating, all of these things sort of test your knowledge, and like the person hiring you will want to know that you also keep an eye on what's going on in their world. And it will also help you in sort of like working and connecting with other people. You guys will sort of have this bond over certain things going on in fashion. Now, the reason why I put this one in there is solely because there are some people that just have an eye for style. They don't necessarily follow what's going on in fashion on a constant basis. Like, I'll consider myself not someone, like, I keep up with fashion and I follow what's going on and I know what's going on, but I am generally way more into styling and into people that actually know how to put certain pieces together. And I've actually noticed through time that those people, like if you go to New York or you go to any place like those, or London, those people that actually know how to dress well and put 2 and 2 together don't always know so much about the fashion industry. They just generally enjoy clothing and styling. So I think that that's very important to differentiate between like just knowing about fashion and being into fashion and just being a stylist, because a stylist doesn't necessarily have to keep up with the fashion world. They're kind of just like playing with their own wardrobe and enjoying what they wear. But obviously, like a lot of the times, if you're into clothes, you're definitely gonna sort of look into what's going on in the fashion world, and you're gonna kind of know certain things here and there. So that's why I put that in there. Right, let's move right into the fourth one. So the fourth step is intern. As simple as that is. Intern and do the free work wherever you can, especially if you're still young. Now, I know that like generally speaking, in the fashion world and just in fashion in general, it's a very underpaid field to go into. And to be quite frank, before you get to sort of like let's say where I'm at with Essence, or even just before you sort of start working consistently as a stylist, as a personal shopper, you will find yourself doing a lot of free work. Your friends will ask you for certain favors. Hey, I'm doing this shoot, can you come and style? I would say go for it, especially if you're still young. Intern for any companies that you want to intern for. If you have any opportunities that come up, even if you don't generally like mess with that particular brand and you don't really like it that much, it's not about you, it's about the experience that you're trying to get first. So remove yourself from the fact that like you know, if you know where you want to be and you kind of know that you want to become a full-on stylist for a company that you truly want to work for, you are going to have to intern and do certain things that you don't want to do to get to that point. So I would definitely highly encourage you to intern, to do as much free gigs as possible, because all of that will not only build experience, but it will also push you forward compared to the others that may be applying for the same job that you're applying for. And yeah, so let's move right into the last step. Number 5 is connect with other stylists. Now, I put this in there because it is going to be quite crucial for anyone looking to sort of work in a specific field to surround themselves with people that kind of are already doing those things or are a bit ahead. So I would definitely encourage you to, you know, now in today's sort of like society, I guess, we do have a lot of options when it comes to connecting with people. So if you are wanting to become a stylist, you know, you have a lot of like, you know, Instagrammers that are like full-time like stylists for certain companies. So definitely encourage you to DM, to talk to them. I mean, this is how I got to doing this video. It was through sort of like the conversations or the DMs that I had from people asking, hey, how did you become a stylist, or what did you do to get there? And I felt like that's quite an important step. Don't be shy to sort of like chat with certain other stylists, you know, whether it's in your local region or it's through like social media platform. Now that's one of the most beautiful things when it comes to social media, is that now you don't necessarily have to look for people in your area or in your surroundings. You can actually have like a full-on conversation with someone that's across the globe, all the way in another country, you know. And I think that that's quite important, and it's a step that you should utilize, you know, connecting with other stylists, chatting with people, like especially like on certain things, like let's say you go shopping at your local mall or at a local boutique. It's kind of nice to chat with some of those people like in that field, you know, because most of the time they kind of have ambitions to kind of go further within their sort of like fashion career, if that's what they're into, if it's not just a job. So, you know, you find out that they may be applying for a certain position here, and that could kind of give you that sign like, hey, maybe I should do the same thing, you know, if you have the right amount of experience. So definitely suggest for you to chat and surround yourself with people that are trying to be in the same field and that have potentially a bit more experience than you do, because that will kind of push you forward, and it will kind of push you in a direction where it's like, you know what, let me follow some of the guidance that this particular person that's maybe a little bit more ahead is giving me. So there you have it, 5 steps to becoming a stylist. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would like to see more of these videos. And thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in, for subscribing, for liking my content. I'll definitely be making more in the future, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.